Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Goldie and this is the Lazy Ballerina Club. And in today's video, I thought I would sit down and answer some of your ballerina ballet questions. I sent in some really great ones that I don't think I've answered before. And if I'm not mistaken, the last Q and A I posted on my channel was a sweet little blurry video and I don't even know how that happened, but I'm redeeming myself today as I sit down to do this video. Hopefully, everything goes to plan. Make sure you're subscribed down below, like this video, and let's get into it because if you're new to my channel, you might not know this yet, but I love to talk and I could probably talk for 20 minutes on each question. So let's just get into it. The first question is, how much pain is too much pain? I feel like my pointe teacher doesn't believe me anymore. Obviously, ballet is painful. There's no way around it. It's physical, it's intense, and if you're in pointe shoes or just getting your pointe shoes, even if you've been in a company for a decade, it's just a painful situation. So I think ballet dancers really struggle with this question. What is too much pain? What is normal pain? What is good pain? And what is like borderline injury pain? There's a huge difference between a positive pain, if that makes sense, and a negative, scary pain. I just had my first day of teaching ballet. I had a super long day. I was teaching from like 9 in the morning till 9 at night, which was intense. At the end of the day, I was in so much pain. My back was hurting, my knees were hurting, my feet were hurting. Literally felt like a 70-year-old woman walking out of this studio. But to me, that is normal pain. That is sore, that is, oh my gosh, my body's not used to it. That was a long day on my feet, but I'm not experiencing any sharp pain. It doesn't feel like injury. Cut to a couple of years ago when I was starting out my season at the Kansas City Ballet. I had this like intense, sharp Achilles pain that I couldn't point my foot. I couldn't get onto pointe shoes. I couldn't roll through my foot. I tried to fight through it. I went into rehearsal. I did my classes because there's this funny little stigma around injuries that if you don't push through it, then you are looked at as weak or dramatic or I don't know. I tried to push through it and it just got worse and worse and worse. And finally, my Achilles was completely swollen. I was like, okay, this is not normal. I need to take a step back. And even though I might have gotten punished for it, or even though my director didn't give me a lovely little pat on the back, I had to take care of myself. It was too much for me. It's up to you. Take care of your body. No one else knows what you're feeling other than you, so it's up to you to stand up for yourself if you are in bad, negative pain world, if that makes sense. The next question is a question that I get all the time. Have you met or known any professionals that started late? Is it too late to start ballet? Is it impossible to become professional if you started later down the road? All of those questions in that conversation. Yes, I have met people that started late and have made it into professional companies. It's all personal. It depends on your work ethic. It depends on how much you want it. It depends on your physical abilities. It depends on, I don't know, there's a lot of factors, but it is possible. It's really not that rare for a guy dancer to start at 15 or 17 and then get a contract the next year or their first time auditioning for companies, which actually makes me want to die because I started when I was 5, and to some people starting at 5 compared to starting at 3 is considered late. So pretty intense if you think about it. If you work hard, you show up every day, you're consistent and you're motivated, I truly believe that anything is possible and there's no reason for you not to be able to get into a company later down the road. Will it be challenging? Will you maybe want to cry often? 1010%, because even if you came out of the womb in little pointe shoes, it's still a very difficult road, but nothing is impossible. What are your tips for new dance teachers? If you have seen my latest videos or the past couple of videos on my channel, I recently started a job at a studio and I am a full-time ballet teacher for the first time in my life ever. It's my full-time gig, and honestly, I don't think I'm the best person to answer this question because I'm kind of figuring it out as I go. Since my channel, and I feel like my purpose these days is to to talk about mental health and ballet and my own experience. I really want to be intentional with my teaching. I remember my ballet teachers growing up. I remember going home and talking to my mother about my ballet teachers. They played a huge role in my life. I don't know if I have advice, but it's definitely something that I'm personally thinking about, and I guess the only advice I can give you is to truly be intentional with your classes. You might not think that your students appreciate your ballet classes. You have such a perfect opportunity in that ballet studio to really make an impact on your students, and that's definitely something that I'm thinking about right now. I want to make sure that I'm a positive force in their life and a person that they feel safe with, and that motivate them and inspire them and make them feel comfortable, and a million other things. Leave a comment down below if you're interested in hearing more about my teaching process, journey, experience, thoughts, concerns, because I have a lot of them and I'm really trying to figure it all out. Okay, this next one's a doozy. This question is it worth it to dance professionally? And that is a loaded question. My first thought is that it is so worth it to dance professionally. Some of my favorite memories in my life ever were when I was in a company performing with my friends and having all of those experiences. While I think it was worth it to dance professionally, I also am now realizing the other side of it, and since I was a professional ballet dancer, I feel like it is definitely more glamorized than I realized. Was it amazing to dance in a company? Was it something that I worked for my whole life? Yes, yes. Did I regret it? No. And at the same time, is it the end all be all? Absolutely not. I don't regret my time in a company, and I'm also not interested in joining another company. I think that says a lot, and I could make a whole video on just that question alone. Let's continue before I go down that rabbit hole. Had a question about the School of American Ballet. It's my dream to go there since I was little, and I'm finally auditioning this season. I was wondering if you knew anything about what they look for in a dancer and what I should fine-tune before auditions. Love you. Oh, I love you too. What a good question. Auditioning for the School of American Ballet is a different situation than honestly any other audition or company. New York City Ballet and SAB are a strictly ball and chain school and company. The only way you can get into New York City Ballet is to go through SAB, and SAB only chooses year-round students from their summer intensive. They really got a good funnel system going into that school. Some of the things that I would say to focus on when auditioning for SAB is your musicality. I would even tell you to maybe practice spotting front, so in your pirouettes. Try that on for size. I can't do that, but they would love that if you whip that out in that SAB audition. I would try to dance as fast as possible, because that's another thing. All of their combinations are nice and speedy. Don't need to be timid in auditions. And I think there's another question in there strictly about auditions, so let me just lump these together. If you have any tips for auditioning, and I've made a couple of videos on my channel, I will link them here. I'll give you a little pop-up. The typical ballet audition is normally just a ballet class, and you do ballet class every single day. It doesn't change anything. Go in there, pick out your gorgeous leotard that makes you feel as beautiful as possible, and just have fun. I see so many dancers terrified in auditions, and they forget that they have to like do something with their faces. No one is gonna want to hire you or give you a scholarship or a summer intensive slot if you look like you're scared out of your mind and not enjoying yourself. I know that is a very general tip, and I really go in deeper in my other videos talking about auditions, but it's just another ballet class, and you know how to do a ballet class, which is the best news ever. So go out and enjoy yourself and just go for it. I was wondering if it is still possible to get into a ballet company without previously attending a big name ballet school. And I think this is such an important question, because I see so many dancers focus all of their energy on the name of the school or the program and not really think about what is best for them. I never grew up going to a big conservatory. I grew up going to a local dance studio. I still managed to get a contract or two in my day. There's pros and cons with both. I was actually really grateful that I didn't go to a big name ballet school growing up. I really don't think it matters. The only thing that actually matters is your technique. Yes, a good resume with all those prestigious names might get noticed first, but they're basing their decisions off of what you do in the room. This one is kind of a specific one. Do you have any tips for a better leg hold, front extension? Any suggestions on specific exercises? So, extensions. We all love them. We all love to work on them. We all focus on the actual leg that we're trying to get up, but there are so many other things that you can put your energy towards that will give your leg a break. Might sound crazy, but strengthening your abs and your glutes and inner thighs will also help you get that leg up in your extension. I'm trying to think about how to demonstrate this for you, but I'm literally in my pajamas on the waist down and I'm not sure how to do this. So what I love is doing the classic old, do you like this situation? The classic like heel and foot in your hand stretch, and you bring it up and then you just count 3, 2, 1 and let it go, and do that a couple of times. Another one that I love is yanking your leg up like this and holding it by your knee and extending this way. Did that help? Maybe I'll do a deeper video on all of that stuff later. That wasn't the best demonstration. How do you not sink in your pointe shoes? The first thing that I'll say is make sure you're in the proper shoes. If your shoes are too big, if they are not allowing you to get over that block all the way, if you're wearing the wrong toe pads, all of those factors play a role in this question. It might be worth it to go back to the drawing board and think about your shoes, think about your pads, think about your ribbons and elastics. Once you have kind of thought about all of those things, you can really think about your strength. So are you really pulling up on your leg? Are you using all of your feet muscles? Are you rolling through all of your metatarsals and arches and big toes? And where's your weight, and how can you use your legs to help you get over your block? There's a lot that goes into sinking in your pointe shoes. And the last question is coming from a girl that's interested in companies that are interested in shorter dancers. There definitely are some companies that strictly only hire shorter dancers. I always say don't knock yourself out of the game just because you're short or tall or whatever. I don't know if that made any sense. What I'm trying to say is if a company is saying that they only hire under a certain height or over a certain height, you've heard some rumors that they only like short dancers or they only like long dancers or blah 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 blah. I don't care. If you want to audition for a company, whether you are 4 feet tall or 10 feet tall, I say go for it and have them say, you're too short, you're too tall, but I don't want you to count yourself out of the game before you've even tried. There are some situations where they literally say on the audition description, only 5'7" and up or only 5'7" and down. I've had auditions where I immediately got cut after bar because I was too tall. I say still go to those auditions, but I know Atlanta Ballet likes shorter dancers. I think Pennsylvania Ballet likes tiny little dancers. Sarasota, Tulsa. I'm sure there are other ones. I'm just blanking. There are smaller companies in your local cities that like shorter dancers. You don't always have to think about the 10 major companies. There's so many options for short dancers. Finding the right company for you is key, but keep the hope alive, keep the faith alive, because there is a place for you. But we are going to leave it here. I hope you guys enjoyed my answers. I hope they were helpful. Always send some questions my way. I love to help you through your ballet journey. I'm always here for you. And if you like this video and you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're doing. Leave a comment down below and let me know what else you want to see on my channel. I would love to bring you the content that you want from me. But I guess that is it for today's video. I guess I'll see you later. Bye guys!